Welcome everyone, this is Nancy of Paper Moon Tarot, and I am delighted to do a quick review and walkthrough of the Tarot de Jacques Vieville from Artisan Tarot. I had gotten the preview deck from them several months ago, which I really loved. They did not want it to be shown in reviews because there were going to be changes to the actual deck that was coming out for, larger production run. But I got the final deck the other day and wanted to show it to you. I really loved the preview version and I love the final version. And the folks at Artisan Tarot are really wonderful. They are obviously love tarot. And so I got a nice set of things to go through with you. But I'll take their card about this first edition version of the deck and just read you briefly. This restoration is based on the 1650 tarot deck created by Jacques Vieville in Paris. The only known copy is preserved in the National Library of France. Due to the age and craftsmanship, many details are indistinct. Conditions of the time required card makers to labor quickly under a strict work environment, which led to this deck's unique character. There are many uncertainties surrounding the production of these cards. Most of the images are mirrored compared to the contemporaries, and the style of the artwork varies throughout the deck. Placement of numerals and text suggests they were added separately to the original design. And from what I've read elsewhere, at the time that this was created, cards were hugely popular in Paris, and they, the card makers, there was a certain amount of tax on the cards, and the government watched very carefully over the card makers and, limited the amount of paper they could have so they didn't do rip-off decks, whatever. And this particular creator, they seem to believe, from one thing I've read, that he worked off of sort of the negative of another version of the deck, which is why the images are reversed, rather than spend the money on new plates or whatever. I'm probably getting it all wrong, but that was the impression I got, that there's some reasons why some images are reversed, etc. Okay, so what I got when I got the final production deck of the first edition of this was the deck in a simple tuck box and a beautiful pouch. I know we say that a lot, but it's lined in purple velvet, and it has the background of the cards is the image on part of the pouch. It's just very substantial, very nice pouch, and matches the back of the cards, which I think is nice. Various cards about the deck and their business card. You get a coin that you can scan to learn more about. It's the Seals of Solomon, 4th and 5th Pentacle of Mercury. Not sure how I'm going to use that, but it's kind of cool. And a lovely pin with the Artisan Tarot logo. Very nice. And see if I can get it to focus on my camera. But a nice pin. And the deck itself. Now, I'm just going to briefly show you some differences between the preview version and their final version, just to kind of show you a bit about, I guess, what their process was in modifying things from one deck to the other. I was looking through various cards, and this is the preview version of the Fool, and this is the actual production version. For some reason, the face is flesh colored in the production version and white in the preview version. I haven't gone through the whole deck in detail, but I haven't found any other card where the face becomes flesh toned. and the hand is not flesh toned. So that's an interesting change, interesting choice. The main thing I see is different between the two is there's a certain use of kind of a gradient, which you can see in here in the skirt of the Fool, where here it's a solid color. And you see that throughout, you know, the cap. If you look at the two caps, there's a kind of a gradient here and a flat color there. There's sometimes some differences in the ground. For example, you see green flowers on here and you see green and yellow flowers on here. But that's the types of changes that you're seeing. The dog, I guess it's a dog, has a yellowish head on this one and is solid gray here. So not major changes, but I'm assuming that they are changes that have been made for accuracy to the original deck. But as they state in the card, the original deck isn't in the best of shape, so I'm sure they've had to make some guesses. The Magician, this is the last one I'll show you, is also one where you see the difference in the tools on the table are fully colored in the production version, and in the preview there's some that are just outlines, silhouettes of objects, and you see some gradient in the grass here that isn't here. So anyway, that's all I'll show you of the preview deck, but those were the changes that I'm seeing. I will do a flip through of this. The card quality I find is excellent from Artisan Tarot. It's a, you know, very flexible linen finish. I don't know if you can see that if I pull it real close. You may have to take my word for that, but it's a beautiful linen finish, very flexible, good card quality. One of the kinds of cardstock I really like. So I will do a flip through now. Here is our Magician. And I think this is an awfully fun Marseille style deck. The expressions on the people's faces. I love the color scheme. You've got a lot of purples and greens and, you know, either orange or rust burgundy. They're, to me, more pleasing than the very sharp primary colors that you see in many Marseille style decks. And there are some variations in the cards, obviously, from other of those, of this type. There's our Lovers. Notice there are no card titles here. There are numbers on the majors. Chariot, it's interesting to me that we've got almost human faces on the beasts in front of the chariot. It's not a sphinx, it's not really a horse. And look at the expression on this guy's face, the charioteer. And he has a little face on his epaulette, on his shoulder. I just think this is a charming Marseille style deck. Strength. The Wheel. I'm sorry if these are not focused as well as they should be. I like the little face peering out here from the Wheel of Fortune. Our Hermit. Now this is one of the examples where the Hanged Man is hanged right side up. He's not this way with the number up here. And I actually contacted them about that and said, why is that? And, you know, they kind of explained it was true to the original deck. It was possibly because it was reproducing another set of plates and they came out backwards. But that's an unusual hanged person. Death card. Temperance. I love this devil. He reminds me very much of some of Deviant Moon's cards, you know, with various things coming out of other body parts. And part beast, part man. This is the tower, which is very different from other towers. This is the star, which is also very different. I've heard some people comment it looks more like the sun, or well, probably the sun, not the moon, but it's the star. And it's with a male there rather than a female. There's no water jug. It's just very different. Not sure why. Here's our moon, which again, because everything's bright out, it's daylight. The moon, at first glance, you might think that's the sun, but it's the moon. No dogs howling at the moon. And there's our sun, so you can kind of compare those. The sun looks kind of angry in this one. There we go. Judgment. And the world. Now, this is the order that the deck came in, so I will go with that. So we start with the 10 of Swords, the 9, the 8, the 7, 6, crisper again. Again, I like the play of colors in here. 5, 4, 3, and the 2. Then we go on to the Ace of Swords, the Page. Again, I really like the color scheme in this. And the faces are wonderful. The Knight of Swords. Come on, focus. The Queen. See if I can get it to focus better. I apologize. There we go. The King. And then we go on to 10 of Wands. Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, come on. My camera is stubborn today. 3, 2 of Wands. And again, you don't have numbers of any kind on the minors, you just have the number of objects. And here's the Ace of Wands. It's my cat scratching, sorry. Okay. Page of Wands, the Knight of Wands, get him closer. There he goes. I love the plume on the horse's head. Interesting coloring here. Again, I guess it's just done for some depth. Queen of Wands. And the King of Wands. All right, moving on to cups. Start with the 10 of Cups, the 9 of Cups, 8 of Cups, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 of Cups. Now, I didn't look this up beforehand, but something about star and force and Vetrane and Diable. Something to do with tyranny and the devil? I'm not sure. My French is reserved for menus. This is the Ace of Cups. Page of Cups. Look at his face. The Knight of Cups. Like a carousel horse. Queen of Cups. King of Cups. 10 of Cups. I don't even know what that is. Okay, there's the 9 of Cups, 8 of Cups, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, I'm sorry, if I've been saying cups, these are pentacles. Okay. With the creator's information. The Page of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles. The Queen. And the King. So that is Tarot de Jacques Vieville from Artisan Tarot. It's a beautiful deck. If you like historic decks at all, it's a really nice one to have. I think their prices are pretty reasonable too. You get all these goodies. So let me know what you think about the deck if you have it. And we'll talk soon. Take care. Bye.